Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Iceberg Lounge. I'm your host, Tommy Single. We are Randyless again today, but in the episode we're going to be going over and reviewing Impact Wrestling's latest event, No Surrender, that happened this past Saturday. And so let's go ahead and get going. Alright, so the first match is going to be on the pre-show. We have two pre-show matches we're going over today. First one will be featuring the X Division champion, Trey Miguel, versus John Skyler in a singles match. We see Trey Miguel coming out. He's wearing pink in honor of his late mother and has caused a fight against cancer. So, we'll be, thinking about, Trey Miguel's family during this time. But we're glad to see him back. Trey, during the match, it just popped up watching him that Trey Miguel and Ricochet would be such a good tag team. Like, Trey can be like the Spider-Man. Ricochet has this Nightwing kind of feel to him. I feel like this would be a dream team to put together once Ricochet leaves WWE, if that ever happens. But Trey Miguel ends up beating John Skyler by pinfall. And yeah, a good win for the X Division champion. Up next, we have Havoc with Rosemary versus Tenille Dashwood with the Influence in her corner of Madison Rayne and Caleb with a K. Seeing Decay as baby faces seems weird. Because, I just see them more as heels, but they were baby faces in this match. And also something I would like to see and I was thinking about is I want Dashwood to join the Inspiration and them just become an Australian force in the women's division. Since, the Inspiration already has the tag belts, they helped Dashwood win the Impact World Women's Championship. I could see them all going through a good run, becoming a new women's force in Impact. And then we see during the match, Caleb with a K is getting a call from the Inspiration. So is Caleb going to jump? And if he jumps, will Dashwood too? This kind of causes a distraction, and Havoc wins by pinfall, getting a win for Decay, and that was the last match of the pre-show. So now, moving on to the first match of the main card, we have a four-way match where the winner becomes number one contender for the Impact X Division Championship. We have Jake Something versus Ace Austin with Madman Fulton in his corner, Bullet Club's Chris Bay, and Speedball Mike Bailey. Now, Speedball, just by this match, literally is going to be a legend in the X Division, just like Joe, Styles, Daniels, all of them from the past. He's going to be like a newest legend of the X Division. I would have liked to seen Speedball win this match, but it might be too early since he's just joined Impact. But Jake Something wins by pin and becomes the new number one contender. So as of right now, the match is set somewhere in the future. Trey Miguel versus Jake Something, X Division title. Don't know when that's going to be. But up next, we have a kind of battle of the big men. We have Jonah versus Black Taurus with Crazy Steve in his corner, the men's side of Decay. And so this is going to be a real big match for Decay. But during this match, man, all I could think is WWE really lost out when they released Jonah. This is a quick, big man. that could have been big, but they just let him go. And their loss is everyone else's gain. Jonah wins by pin. Black Taurus loses. So Decay, 1-1, lost 1. They're 1-1 for tonight. And so we move on to match number 5, where it's leader versus leader. We have the leader of the Bullet Club versus the leader of Violent by Design, Jay White versus Eric Young in a standard singles match. And this, it's not seeing Jay White in the U.S. Let's just say that. We see in the beginning, Eric Young wants to do this alone. He doesn't want any of Violent by Design in his corner. He wants to prove it himself. And like I was saying, Jay White is everywhere. He's in AEW. He's in Impact. Like, it's just amazing to see Jay White. And now I really want to eventually see a dream match one day. I don't know if this will ever happen, where it's Jay White versus Seth Rollins. I feel like this is a dream match now. But let's now hop over to Eric Young and his relation to the Bullet Club. Now, he's never been a member of the Bullet Club, but he had been a member of TNA's version of the Wolf Pack for a little bit, which, as we know, Bullet Club was influenced by the NWO. And so that's kind of like his relation to the Bullet Club a little bit. But Jay wins by pin, defeats Eric Young. Bullet Club stays dominant, with the leader defeating the leader of Violent by Design. Now we head on to match 6, which is Deonna Purrazzo's open challenge, where she's open challenging for both her women's championships, either for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship or the AAA Women's Championship. And the person who chose to come out was Miranda Elise. I think that's how you say her last name. And what's interesting about this, she was in the finals of the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. And so she ends up choosing, that's the match that she wanted to have, was for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. Match was good. It's nice kind of seeing Ring of Honor kind of keep being kept alive through Impact and through AEW until April when they come back. And so I'm glad these companies are kind of helping out Ring of Honor when all this is happening. But Deonna Purrazzo defeats Miranda by submission, retains the Ring of Honor World Women's Championship, and she's still now a double champion. So now we move on to match number 7, where we have Matt Cardona versus Jordan Grace in an intergender match for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Matt Cardona brought the digital media title with him, but he was lacking his newly won NWA World Championship. So maybe they haven't approved yet or got a deal going between NWA and Impact of like, hey, let us have a world championship shown on your show. But maybe that'll get cleared soon. It'll be interesting to see maybe Matt Cardona holding both titles and maybe trying to go for the world title again. And maybe do an NWA world title versus Impact world title winner take all match. That'd be interesting. Matt Cardona is the best heel in wrestling right now. On social media and in the ring, best heel. Another loss by WWE, because after they let him go, Matt Cardona has been on the best run of his career. And I don't see it stopping anytime soon. He's kind of the new belt collector right now. So let's see how long he can keep all those belts. Hey, this is Thomas Single from the Iceberg Lounge, and I'm here to talk to you today about Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place, and guess what? It's absolutely free, which you can use right from your cell phone or computer just like I do. They even have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds amazing. They'll even distribute your podcast for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. So it can be heard everywhere, from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. So why don't you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. But as we can see, this is an intergender match, going back and forth. Matt Cardona wins by disqualification because Jordynne Grace, if I remember correctly, kicked him in his testicles. And that you just can't do that, Jordynne Grace. So she kind of ruined her rematch for the title. And so now Matt Cardona is still champ. And now he doesn't have to face her again unless she gets like number one contender. So we'll see what's next for Jordynne Grace. After this, we'll probably see on Impact this week. And up next, we have a very, very important match in pro wrestling. A dream match. We have the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, versus the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. The Good Brothers representing the Elite. The Gorillas of Destiny representing the Bullet Club for the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Now, this is an absolute dream match because both teams, one, former members of the Bullet Club. Gorillas of Destiny, members of the Bullet Club. At one point, they were in the same group together at the same time before the Good Brothers left for WWE. We got to remember, Carl Anderson, former leader of the Bullet Club. If I remember correctly, he was the second leader of the Bullet Club before AJ Styles. Jay White, though, is the leader of the Bullet Club. And so, mid-match, everything's going down. Ref's distracted, I think, if I remember correctly. In comes Jay White. Jay White hits a member of the Gorillas of Destiny with his finisher. Jay White has turned on the Gorillas of Destiny. And so now I'm confused because now is Jay White saying, all right, this is me leaving the Bullet Club for the Elite? Or is this Jay White kicking the Gorillas of Destiny out of the Bullet Club and saying, the Good Brothers are in, y'all are out, and he's slowly trying to bring the Elite back into the Bullet Club? This is a very confusing time because you don't know what's necessarily happening with Jay White. Like, is he still leading the Bullet Club? Did he jump to the Elite? Is he trying to bring the Elite back in? Like, very confusing time right now. But I would consider this probably one of the best matches on the card. Very big in pro wrestling because this is something that shakes into the core of not only Impact, but AEW and New Japan. So we're just going to have to wait and see how this story shakes out. But after the interference by Jay White, the Good Brothers retain their championships by pinfall, defeating the Gorillas of Destiny. So, congrats to the Good Brothers. All right, up next, Mickie James versus the winner of the women's Ultimate X match, Tasha Steelz, with Savannah Evans in her corner. Singles match for the Impact Knockouts World Championship. Mickie James has done so much as Knockout Champion. This is probably her best reign as Knockouts Champion, or best run as any women's champion, except for maybe her first championship in WWE, her first women's championship post Trish Stratus after that WrestleMania match. This was probably a big run for her. Mickie retains by pinfall, retains the Knockouts Championship, and now she continues her legendary reign. Now we're finally made it to the World Championship match, singles match for the Impact World title. We have Moose defending against W. Morrissey. As we can see, Moose, as of that pay-per-view, has been Impact Champion 119 days. So it's a decent reign for Moose. They kind of worked him up over the years to maybe have a dominant reign this time. Moose ends up retaining his world title by defeating W. Morrissey by pinfall. And so now his reign will continue. Who will be his next opponent? We're just going to have to watch and see. Maybe Jay White? We're just going to have to see about that. Now we're at the main event of No Surrender. It is the 10-man tag team match. Honor No More, who is Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, PCO Vincent, and Kenny King, with Maria Kanellis in their corner, versus Team Impact, which was Chris Sabin, Rhino, Rich Swann, Steve Macklin, and what was supposed to be Eddie Edwards, but he got attacked backstage, so Willie Mack had to step up and step in for him. And in this match, stipulation is, if Honor No More won, they get to stay in Impact. If not, they got to get out of here. And what a match. I would suggest everyone going back and watching this match. This is another match that I would probably say is a match of the night, besides maybe the World Tag Team match. Go back, watch it. Very good match. And this is another thing that kind of shakes Impact to its core. Because here comes Eddie Edwards coming in with his kendo stick. And you're thinking, okay, he's about to go crazy on Honor No More. And then Eddie Edwards turns his back on Impact Wrestling and just starts swinging that kendo stick at everyone on Team Impact. And then Honor No More wins by pinfall. They get to stay in Impact Wrestling. Eddie Edwards has joined Honor No More and says that this is his family, which he does have a point. People forget Eddie Edwards was in Ring of Honor before he was in Impact Wrestling, ever. We forget Eddie Edwards, if I remember correctly, was a former Ring of Honor World Champion, possibly a Ring of Honor World Tag Champ, and a World TV Champ, if I remember correctly. Like, he is Ring of Honor through and through. And so this shouldn't be a surprise, but it kind of felt like a Stone Cold moment in the Invasion storyline, where Stone Cold turned on the WWF. But that's how it ends, with Honor No More and their new member and possibly new leader, Eddie Edwards, in the middle of the ring dominant. So, is Eddie Edwards now the leader of Honor No More? And will Eddie Edwards try to capture the world title from Moose? I could see them trying to push that. But yeah, that was Impact Wrestling's No Surrender. Want more content from me and Randy? Go check us out on Twitch at Iceberg Gaming TTV and Itsktowngaming, where we stream multiple games live.
We're also on YouTube at Thomas RJ Engel and K-Town Gaming, where we play through games and have other content for you to enjoy. If you want to follow us on social media, all of them will be in the details of this episode. Support us at patreon.com/TRJI, where you can get our content first before anyone. If you are unable to invest in us monetarily, then you can by following, leaving reviews, chatting with us, liking, commenting, and sharing. Thank you for the support.
Thank you for listening to the Iceberg Lounge. Don't forget to give us a follow, leave us a review, and share this episode. Know God loves you, and we love you, and always remember, all to God. See you in the next episode.